Why would a loving God put a tree in a garden when he knew it would lead to sin, pain, and death? That is a question that stops people in their tracks. And honestly, it's a fair one. But what if that tree wasn't actually a trap? What if it was actually proof of God's love? The tree of knowledge wasn't about a fruit, it was about freedom. It represented one thing, and that is choice. You see, God did not create a perfect world. He did not create Adam and Eve to be forced into obedience. He gave them an option not to choose him. Because love, at least real love, isn't real without a choice. You can't force connection. And we even know that. Because you wouldn't want someone to love you because they have to. You want it to be real, voluntary. Same with God. He didn't want programmed puppets. He wanted a relationship, chosen and not forced. You can't have love without choice. You know, God could have created us like angels that don't struggle, but instead he made us like humans, capable of thinking and capable of choosing. Look, love that can't say no means nothing when it says yes. Let's clear something up. God didn't create evil. Evil happened because creation chose something less than God. Think about darkness. It is just the absence of light. Evil is the absence of God's will. So the tree didn't create evil as well. It allowed the possibility of rejecting what is good. The tree revealed what was already inside the human heart. Adam and Eve weren't just curious, but they wanted to define good and evil on their own terms. That is the root of sin. It is not just disobedience, but it is dethroning God. It is the desire to say, I know what's right. But let's be honest, we've all wrestled with that from time to time. God knew humanity would fall, but he still chose to make us. That tells you something, that God planned redemption before the failure. The cross wasn't just a plan B, it was the plan all along. Look, the tree of knowledge led to death, but later there was another tree, and that tree was the cross, which later led to life. Today, that same God is offering himself, not with force, but with faithfulness, not with demands, but with open arms. So perhaps the question isn't only why did God create the tree? Maybe the real question is, will you trust in the one who planted it, who knew the cost of our failure and still chose to stay with us through it? Because he could have walked away, he could have started over, and he would be in his every right mind to do so. But he chose to stay, even when we messed up, even when we turned our backs on him. He didn't stop chasing us. He didn't give up on us. And that tree wasn't a test. It was a chance to choose love and